We've been talking about articles that are going up on the website. We've got one coming from you. Obviously, Golden Boy being a big talk right at the moment, but you're already projecting and looking ahead to the next Golden Boy.
Oh, we all knew Jude Bellingham was going to win this year, so I already started looking, one full year ahead. That's totally normal behaviour, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us what you've come up with and how you actually decided this, because obviously there's quite a few of the names on this year's list that you're expecting to see on next year's list.
Definitely, yeah. This is the kind of same game you would play with a Ballon d'Or. So it's like, okay, who are the best young players that will still be eligible to win the award next season? That's the first tick. So rule out anybody that turns 21 over the course of the next calendar year, because they won't be allowed to win it. So that's basically half your shortlist gone. And then you have to start looking around for, okay, who's in the right setting? So who plays for a really big team or plays with really big players, or maybe has the opportunity to go to an international tournament and make a splash, who plays for a team that might win the Euros, who plays in the European League, because people may not know, but you can't win this award unless you play in a top European league. So for someone like maybe Endrick, when he joins Real Madrid in June, he'll have 4 months to impress us all enough to make sure that he can go ahead and win this award. So are they in the right league? Are they in the right position? Can they achieve success? And so we're looking at what we can see right now, and then we're trying to see what position they can put themselves in for next year.
So give me a few names then, because I've got a few names that we've seen here. Obviously, Zaire-Emery is a lot of excitement about him at the moment. Lamine Yamal as well. But then we're seeing the likes of João Neves, Evan Ferguson. We're all very well aware of what he does, and Vitor Roque as well.
Yeah, so I think those basically were my top five. I think Warren Zaire-Emery is in could you call it pole position a year out? I don't know if that's even fair, but I mean, look at the stage he plays on. Look at the company that he keeps. Look how important he is to PSG already when he's dropped out and he's injured. The back falls out of the team. He's 17. He should not be this important to a European super club, but he is. Of course, he plays alongside Kylian Mbappe, so he's got the status in the stage. He could well come out of this season having won Liga, won the Euros with France, and made a splash in the round of 16 or beyond with PSG alongside Kylian Mbappe. That for me is enough to put him in pole position. And Lamine Yamal is kind of second there because he's got a lot of the same things going for him there. Ticks a lot of the same boxes. He's just been given an award for being really young. Like, I've never seen this in my life before. Like, you know, they gave Jude Bellingham the Golden Boy Award, and then they gave Lamine Yamal, was he youngest boy? Like, what what is going on? But I think it's an obvious statement of intent from those that run the award, and it's a clear signal that if all goes to plan, Lamine Yamal in the next 3 years, because bear in mind he's eligible for the next 3 awards, is going to win one, isn't he?
Well, it looks that way right now. Okay, Ryan, so let's say ESPN FC editor has given you this very task. Are we happy with the way Sam's decided to divvy things up here?
Yeah, I think it looks right to me. I mean, it's one of the fun things and the hard things about this is young players are incredibly volatile and they're very hard to project. They can suddenly get a lot better out of nowhere. They can suddenly plateau. They can suddenly fall out of a manager's favor. And yeah, I think with something like this, like the main driver behind it is almost like less performance and more how many minutes you're getting with a big team. Obviously that's driven by performance because managers are picking you based on how well you're playing. But yeah, I mean, to me, like Lamine Yamal in some ways deserves his own award, youngest boy, whatever other uncomfortable name they can come up with for these, because he's so young, and usually it's just amazing that you're playing when you're that young, right? Like, it doesn't even matter how well you're playing. Like, the fact that a manager thought, you know, he wouldn't get fired by putting you on the field is enough to suggest that you're good. But he's like playing at like an elite level at 16, which like, I don't know if we've ever seen that happen. In some ways, I feel like we're not talking enough about him, which I think is good, given our tendency to overhype teenagers and put too much pressure on him. So yeah, I guess he's the one that kind of stands out the most to me.
So Sam, let's end it on this then, because obviously that was your top 5. Do you think there is anyone who could sneak in, or are there a few that are maybe off the radar right now that we might be talking about next year?
Well, I mean, I start actually with my number 5 pick, which was Vitor Roque, who he needs a lot of things to go right for him, and not all of that is going to be in his control. Like, can Barcelona register him? to play football. Like, so let's tick that one, and then let's keep going. Hopefully that happens for him. But he's joining European football at just the right time, right at the start of the voting window, January, and gets to play all the way through. Lewandowski, 3 goals in since September. Like, there are concerns about Lewandowski, and what if Vitor Roque just steps in and just starts playing the same chords as Pedri? I mean, what could happen? So I think he's a real long shot, but I had to put him in because I just thought he was so interesting. And then for a true wild card, Lenny Yoro at Lille probably won't come into contention because he's a defender, and it takes ridiculous circumstances for a defender to win this award. Only one has ever done it. It was Matthijs de Ligt. He got to the semi-finals of the Champions League with Ajax and then moved to Juventus for 75 million. That is the bar for a defender to get to this award. So let's say that Lenny Yoro at Lille basically can't achieve that. But if Girona keep this up, what about Savio, who every time I watch him blows my socks off? He is an absolute delight. So obviously we all expect Girona to drop off. But what if they don't? And what if Savio leads them to the Champions League? I'm interested. I'm very interested in this storyline.
We could get a few more categories, so we could go like best youngest boy Brazilian, best youngest French. But just make it go wide, give them a little props there.